What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Lamont Roach in the news. As you guys to see on the screen, I'm not gonna read everything, but this is his verified Twitter account or X account where he's, pretty much trolling Gervonta Davis for, for what he deems is, ducking the rematch or whatnot. Now, I'm gonna speak on Tank Davis in this video because I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I love Tank, bro, I don't think Tank cares about legacy, and I don't think he cares about his fans either. You know what I'm saying? So you guys can see, Lamont Roach has just really been going in today. He wanted that rematch. Now, I can understand that, bro. And it's crazy because, man, like, if I was Tank, like, the crazy part about it is, bro, what people don't realize is the Jake Paul fight would have still been there. Even if Tank would have lost, and I want to speak on this real quick. He said, buddy trying to sue, he always do that, but he really a B in his whole team. And I don't know if he's talking about Lamont Roach on there, like Lamont Roach trying to sue, but because, if so, Lamont Roach is not going to be able to get out of anything with that, because it's like, bro, if you sue, what are you gonna, like? It's not like you weren't the A side. It's not like your belt was on the line. So I don't know. I've heard so many different things. I don't know. Like, I've heard that, well, I'll get to that a little bit later. But anyways, like I was saying earlier, regardless of whether Tank would have, if Tank would have lost to Lamont Roach, the Jake Paul fight would have still been big, bro. But Tank has proven that he doesn't care about his fans. As a matter of fact, hold on. Now look at this. It says, love you, Tank. We got to see that rematch with Roach too. And Tank then replies back and says, shut the F up and be a fan. And I promise you, guess what, bro? I promise you, it's going to be guys like Boxing Ego and many other little fans like that would sit there and accept that. On my life, if I was to put an argument up like with somebody like Boxing Ego or something, I swear to God, dude, to come back and be like, well, yeah, he's right. He should just shut the F up and be a fan, cause that's what he is. Like, bro, y'all the type will take anything from anybody, and I'm a Tank Davis fan, but I wouldn't, like, that's just disrespectful, bro. Dude, he wasn't even being disrespectful to Tank. Dude said, I love you, bro, but we got to get that Roach fight too. Come on, fam. How you gonna, and y'all just sit there and really tolerate that? Y'all will sit there and tolerate that. That's what y'all will tolerate. But anyways, the one thing about, you got a lot of people love to criticize Floyd Mayweather, but the one thing about Floyd Mayweather is, bro, any close fight he had, he always came back and redeemed himself. The fight with Luis Castillo, right? That's the number one fight everybody likes to talk about with Floyd Mayweather, right? It's funny because if I bring up, and I've done this before, right? If I bring up Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G, everybody will be like, why are you still talking about that? That's old. But then them same people will bring up Castillo versus Floyd. Ain't that crazy? But anyways, Floyd fought Castillo. A lot of people thought that Floyd lost the first fight. All right, cool. Floyd, I think he had like some type of shoulder injury or whatnot. But Floyd's very next fight, Castillo even had a fight in between that. But Floyd's very next fight, Floyd said, I bet. Come on, let's run it back. Y'all thought he beat me? I'm going to show y'all. And what'd he do? Beat him more convincingly. Marcos Maidana. Some people thought Maidana won the first fight with Floyd. What did Floyd do? I bet. Let's run it back. Y'all thought he beat me? Let's run it back. And within a few months, that fight was made. So it's like, bro, and so that's my thing with Tank, right? The competitor, if Tank, this is my proof to show you that Tank does not care about his legacy, nor does he care about the fans. He just wants his money. And if that's what he wants, I'm not finna knock him for that. I'm not finna, knock Tank if that's all he wants. But my only thing is, bro, if that's what you after, cool, my brother. Get your money, my dude. Get your money, black man. Get your money. But do not get mad when we talk about Hall of Famers and we talk about GOAT status and we talk about all these things and your name is not being mentioned. Just don't be mad at that. But going back to what I was saying, if Tank truly cared about his legacy, the competitive side of him would have been like, all right, bro, y'all thought he won? Bet, I'm finna run that shit back. Let's get it. We got that with Canelo and Triple G. Many people thought, including myself, felt like Triple G won the first fight. All right, at least Canelo gave him a rematch. The third fight, the trilogy might have taken a little bit longer than what we wanted. But, bro, at least he gave him a rematch. Deontay Wilder, he fought Tyson Fury. Many people thought Tyson Fury won the first fight. Excuse me. Many people thought Tyson Fury won the first fight or should have pulled away with it. Deontay Wilder said, I bet. Y'all thought he won? Shoot. Let's go ahead and run it back. See, those are guys that care about their legacy, though. But Tank Davis, he doesn't have that mindset. Have you ever stopped to think that, like, bro, this is another reason why I'm telling you Tank don't care about his legacy. Have you ever heard Tank talk about unifying any division? Have you ever heard Tank talk about unifying any division? No, you ain't never heard Tank talk about. Only thing Tank wanted that belt because that belt comes with a guaranteed check, a minimum wage of a certain. And once you get that belt, you're required to get. Your minimum is at least this. They can't shortchange you because you got that belt. That's the only thing Tank care about. You ain't never heard Tank say, I want to unify my division. Have you ever seen Tank in a legacy fight? And before y'all try to sit up, I'm going to tell you what a legacy fight. Ryan Garcia was not a legacy fight. That was an event. That was a big event. And kudos to him. Even Frank Martin was not a legacy fight. That was a good fight, but that was not a legacy fight. A legacy fight is like Mayweather versus Cotto, Mayweather versus Pacquiao, Mayweather versus Canelo, Mayweather. Those are legacy fights. Have you ever? In my example for Tank, what a legacy fight would have been: him versus Lomachenko, him versus Devin Haney, him versus Shakur Stevenson, him versus Teofimo Lopez. Those are legacy fights. We've never seen Tank in not one legacy fight, brother. Not one. Not one. It's crazy that and it's crazy that people will sit here and defend this. Now you're gonna have people on here calling me a hater just because I would like to see Tank in a top fight. Actually, if I'm being honest, a rematch with Lamont Roach would be a legacy fight because many people thought he lost the first fight. I mean, I've told y'all before, I don't think neither fighter did enough for me to say, yeah, you took away with that, bro. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like Tank won or Tank lost. Nah, I don't think so. But many people do feel like Tank lost that fight. So a rematch with Lamont Roach would have even been a legacy fight for him. Show people how you do in a rematch. All right, babe. Y'all thought he won. I'm gonna show y'all how I can make these adjustments, and I'm gonna keep going. But we don't get to see that, bro. The Lamont Roach the first fight was not a legacy fight. That was a cherry pick gone wrong. Nobody in their mama, including Tank's team, thought that Lamont Roach was going to stand a chance. And Lamont Roach did, bro. It was a cherry pick gone wrong. So, that's just my take on it, bro. I mean, unfortunately, for the fans, Tank he doesn't care about that stuff. He just wants the money. And I can't knock him for that. Okay, get your money, man. Go ahead, get your money. And so that's why he's cashing out with Jake Paul. I really don't see no point in him fighting after that because, I mean, if to me, it's foolish to do exhibitions in the middle of your career. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't see no point. So, who knows? Like, after that, like, whatever happens in that fight, who knows? Whatever happens. But, bro, Tank, he finna make a bag and he might check out. As far as Lamont Roach goes, bro, Lamont Roach has plenty of options. Many people are calling him out. You even got Africa at 140 calling him out. Shakur is trying to make a fight with him. I don't know what's going on with Shakur and Teofimo Lopez. I mean, Teofimo claimed that he signed his side. I think Turkey came out and denounced that. I don't know what they got going on, but Lamont Roach has many people, licking their chops to come fight him. Pause. But a lot of people want to fight Lamont Roach. I heard that Lamont Roach is gonna because the WBA is like kind of wondering if they're gonna strip Tank or not, and if they do, then they're gonna I heard that Lamont Roach could possibly be granted that belt. I heard that, but don't quote me on that. Don't take none. I just heard that. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I did hear that the WBA is kind of contemplating on whether they're going to strip Tank or not. Because, I mean, bro, you at that point would not have defended you ain't defended your title against a 135-pound fighter since June of 2024. So, I will just throw that out there. I don't know what's going on with that, but regardless, bro, I just I think Lamont Roach needs to. I don't know if I don't know how they're gonna try to build him or not now, because I mean he's either gonna be food for somebody, or they're gonna try to rebuild him and try to make some type of star out of Lamont Roach. I would love to see Shakur and Lamont Roach fight. I definitely would love to see that. Shakur stated that if he doesn't get the Teofimo Lopez fight, then that's the next fight up. I'd love to see that. I love to see that. I love to see Lamont Roach. I would even love to see Lamont Roach versus Gary Russell Jr., bro. I think that's a great fight. Lamont Roach has a lot. I mean, all Lamont Roach has to do is just say yes to somebody. It's many people that want to fight Lamont Roach. So in Lamont Roach's case, all you got to do is find the biggest check and go to it. And the biggest check would probably be Shakur, if I'm being honest. Africa is not as big as Shakur. Gary Russell is not as relevant. It'll probably be Shakur. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see why you wouldn't take that. Unless if Shakur fights Teofimo, then, whatever happens after that. I would, but, it is what it is, man. Both fighters, it's sad, but I feel Lamont Roach's frustration. It's like, fam, I don't know whether it was for money or not. I mean, Lamont Roach feels like he was robbed, so I would want a rematch as well. I would think Tank, if he cared about his legacy, he would want a rematch, but it's clear that he doesn't. So it's really no argument to be made. All right, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?